You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, on criticalmassradio.co.uk. Yeah, here we go. Happy New Year, as in remembering, KNEW year to all. And we're finally at that point where it's crystal freaking clear to me. Just hope we can get this message across, and how simple a message it is, and so easy for it to not be believed. Such is the nature of Pisces. Got believing and not believing. That's the problem, you know. It starts with things like Santa Claus. You believe in Santa Claus and you get the big letdown. You believe in the Easter Bunny, you get the big letdown. Tooth Fairy, big letdown, you know. And these are very specific programs running in this game grid to keep us from attaining our true status as part of the All Creator Collective of one. So, that being said, I just want to congratulate Mike. Great job. I got in a bit late there this morning, tuned in with him, and just great. What a way to break in the new year with Mike's show. So it was really good. Well done. Mike, had a great chat with you at the end of the show there, and we'll continue it on here, because there's a lot of things that I really want to get into. I did a full Celtic shed before the show. As far as what you're probably noticing there, those of you that do have the eyes to hear and ears to see, you're really starting to catch on to the cosmic joke nature of this. And a great big thank you to T for giving me a call today at exactly the right moment, of course, but then I'm in the now, so I know exactly why calls come in and who they are and at what moments, because the only one that can put my reality together for me is, well, God darn it, me. Imagine that. Same rules apply to you. You're the only one that can figure your trail out. All I've been doing is trying to show people how to find that trail, as I have found it, and so many others have found it now as well. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the Whore of Babylon and what it really is. We're dealing in a juxtaposed mirror world here. The Whore of Babylon is quite simply all things physical. I don't mean a little bit here and a little bit there. All things physical are result of the light creation, the construct, if you will. And we'll get into a couple of things here, but I really want to make this clear. And I don't care if you're selling court. I don't care if you're selling legal. I don't care if you're selling free energy. I don't care if you're selling anything in the physical sense, where you can teleport a body from here to there. Yeah, big deal. I don't think God would have much of a problem with that. Do you? No, you shouldn't. And this is what we have forgotten. But we are remembering so very, very quickly now. And just based on some of the interactions I've had, well, over the last while, but today there was a lot of very interesting things coming in the power of silence. Nice curtsy and hats off to Barb for her efforts today in showing the power of silence and the intent carried through the ether. And this is the part that people are having a hard time with. They think they need pieces of paper. No, you need to get the concepts, and then you can send the information. These are not shields to protect you, paper shields. They're paper roses. The true power, the true roses, rose, which is the spirit breath of creation itself, is you. This, I know, is your ego will fight this tooth and nail. I know mine has for a long time, till I got a grip on it. This is Oz. This is Harry Potterville. This is everything you ever imagined as a child that was destroyed for you. It is just that. And I've heard from too many people lately that, you know, the more sane you become in this reality, the more insane the physical Whore of Babylon reality is. I don't know about you, but, you know, people that find the need to go around and create wars and murder and plunder and steal, just like your legal systems, your governments and all the rest. That's all they do. And there are also many that would be deemed in the new cager movement that are out selling free energy concept and all the rest of it. These are carrots. Remember, good promo, bad promo, it all sells. These are all COINTELPRO, high priest with crucified intent for. Okay? COINTELPRO, you might be familiar with that word. COINTELPRO, break it down, high priest. These are all new revelations, and they're constantly coming out day after day. The more I look, the more just explodes. It's beyond funny now. But people like Empty Kishi and Sasha Stone and Andrew Bartzis and all these people that are selling these physical dramas or illusions. Like, the list goes on and on. I'm not just going to pick on them. I'm going to fucking pick on everybody, because if you're not working directly for solving the spirit, as was laid out very clearly for each and every one of us, then you are nothing more than a fucking piece of shit shill in my universe. That's kind of how it works, right? Just like the word gullible. That's the torus field that one creates by swallowing the shit of another. I have my own reality. You have yours as well. These are the temptations of Christ, the to tempt you, the gratitude shuns, okay? And it's not a very easy road to walk. Many of you know this. So many of you know this. I have ruffled more feathers than I'd care to count. And those feathers get ruffled not because of something of an intent that I had of malevolence. No, quite the opposite, you see. And regardless, if there's an ego running, it's going to be polarized, and it's going to choose what it wants to accept as its reality. And it's still got so many people tricked at the helm, thinking that it's them, and it's not. These are night and day concepts. One is spirit, one is physical. The physical ego is interested only in physical comforts. This is one of the reasons why people have such a hard time stepping forward, because it is so far out of their normal day-to-day regimen, and that's what it is. It's a regia mind, to rule the mind, that they're very tough to break. And as I've said in the past, I was one of the lucky ones in that I didn't have to worry about all of these possessions to give them up one at a time, kicking and screaming. They were all ripped from me at once. So it was a very contrasted yet very efficient separation from the physical possession, right? And that's why they're called possessions or belongings, right? If you're longing for something, that's a want. That's like longing for a loved one, longing for past times, or whatever the case may be. You're caught in the time loop, caught in the trap. And you will see them everywhere. I've seen these operations running constantly, and one of the things that these movements like to do is to the interest of the left brain ego that titillates it with all this curiosity kills the cat stuff. Like Karen Hood's coming out with two races of species, the Vatican proves whatever. And the standard operating procedure for this is to rope in as many people that are actually doing the work to awaken humanity with truth. Sorry, I'm one that will never bite that hook. Thank you very much. But I do have to put it out there. There are many out there that have beautiful truth, beautiful information, and COINTEL groups like this love to bring them into the little fold to get guilt by association or acceptance by association. It's a standard tactic. They did it with the hippie movement. That's how they turned them all into fucking yuppies within 5 years. Here you have all these people, free love and anti-corporate and all the rest of it, 5 years later looking to be buying their new Beamers, and they're the hippie turned yuppie. It's a standard program. You can see this stuff running constantly. And I don't know, guys, but like, is it just me that sees this blatant divide and conquer trap that goes on constantly. This bullshit that gets spoon-fed to us constantly. I just, put the cutlery away. Not in my reality, thanks. I don't let vampires and werewolves into my reality. And I don't care if they come bearing gifts or come bearing guns. My grandfather told me a very long time ago, and it's very potent. Beware of people carrying Bibles and guns. The ones with the Bibles were more dangerous. And the concept behind carrying the Bible, it doesn't matter if it's a Bible, Torah, whatever the case may be, what he was telling me was, be wary of those deceivers, to unsee the truthers, okay? They will come with gifts, the same way that the missionaries came to North America and Australia and all around the planet with their supposed message of salvation. And as soon as they got ashore, buying into the local culture with their little gifts of, shiny tools and all the rest of it, next thing you know, the first thing they were targeting were people like myself, two spirits. They were number one on the list because of the clue that they were for the separation of the physical and the spiritual. Yeah, they slaughtered beings like me wholesale. Couldn't get rid of us fast enough. Obviously failed miserably. They missed a few of us. And go figure, Celt to boot. So there you go. You've got to be wary of these energies, guys. They're coming at you in rapid fashion right now. This new cage movement is exactly what it is. It's a new cage to try to pull you in the same way people got roped into Nasara, they got roped into Opt, they got roped into all of this bullshit, the white dragon, red dragon, whatever. If you can see the allegory, it's a different story, but unfortunately most are looking at this place in a very literal, take it, as the gullible, gullible's travels indeed. And they'll swallow anything. Anything that appeases their ego to make their life easy. I got to tell you, it's the last couple of years, for me, have been quite something. I can't even put it into words. The amount of trials and tribulations I've had to go through, and the amount of times I've encountered situations where it's always made to look like, I got to tell you, I'm in a place right now where this absolutely proves everything of what I've been through in the absolute opposite mirror. So you see, that's, and yes, broadcasting from an undisclosed location somewhere on Earth. Safe space, and it's going to stay that way spiritually. I can't begin to outline how quickly people turn because I wasn't the savior. I'm not the crutch that they were hoping for. I wasn't the mitten strings that they were hoping would tie their shoes for them, send in their documents for them, stand there as a wall and a shield in front of them. And you'll hear the complete opposite. You see, that's why everything in my reality is true to me. I walked and lived the experience, then I walked and lived the experience. What is real to me is what is real to me, what I experienced. As I've said in the past, by omission or commission, it doesn't matter for me to prove that someone stole my home and destroyed my family and what have you. The simple truth is it fucking happened. By one's actions, one is known. No proof required. It's already written in the action. You don't undo those actions. You do not undo those actions. These are the realities that are set in the timelines. And those that wish harm, then, well, you get to do the repeat thing. That's not what I would want, and I'd certainly hope that you could change your course, but that's going to be entirely up to you. These are the seeds that you sow. If you were sowing shit, don't expect, candy floss, okay? And so many people expect that. You look at all these trained dogs for the system. Talk about Ontario provincial. What is provincial? Well, someone who is unrefined and basically ignorant. So they're telling you what they are. Ontario provincial police. Police, which is spirit seed of lies into creation. And that's the modus operandi. It's easy to spot, You want to see this world properly, just look at everything backwards and it'll all start to make sense to you. Those that we were always raised to believe that were somehow looking out for us are the very ones that have been parasiting us. And that's exactly what it is. It's a duality site. They are of Anubis, which is the heart of duality. Just a coincidence? Anu, Biz. Anu, the heart. Biz, in a state of duality. Anubis. Going back to Narmer, there's your Scorpion King. He's the one that carried the Scorpion's mace, and there's a Narmer's palette that every spirit seed of lies into creation flip open first. I don't know what it's going to take to get this point across to people. I really don't. I know there's a lot of you are getting it and putting it into action, and gosh darn it, if it isn't working for you, it's because you changed your spiritual contracts. Had nothing to do with the physical. Nothing. Physical is the effect. All cause is created in the mind. You have to think about picking up a pen before you sign something. You have to think about what you're signing before you do that. You have already had to agree that you were going to sign it before you did. The action is only the effect that proves the intent. This is a spiritual game. If you want to call it spiritual court, you can call it whatever you want. The assumption and presumption will be in place regarding your intent until you spell it out for yourself first. What is your intent? What are you wanting to achieve? Is it benevolent for all, or is it coming from a very self-centered, gimme, free man on the land, sovereign citizen, lawyer, judge, cop, fucking gimme mindset? Because they're all the same to me. They're all caught in the matrix, the mother tricks. Like I said, I don't care if you're selling free energy or a Bitcoin or any of. If it's a system in the physical, it is not spiritual. If you want proof of that, take a walk down to your local funeral home and go in and check out a body that's lying in a casket, and you tell me how much life is in that meat stick. Yeah, here they are. We'll all gather around the meat stick. We'll all stare at the empty cocoon, not give one fucking thought as to where the spirit is. That's humanity as a whole. They're too busy caught up in their baubles and their shiny trinkets and all the rest of it. They're too busy trying to claw up each other's back to get to the next rung on the corporate death ladder so that they can work their ass off to retirement and have more stuff than everybody else only to die. And that's really wise, don't you think? Yeah, that's smart. Because here's the thing, as soon as you drop body, you're coming back to do the Groundhog Day deal on the merry-go-round, someone else is enjoying your stuff. All that stuff you work so hard for. Yeah, the instant you check out to come back here, you're coming back into the same game again. So you choose. You either have the Christ consciousness or you're just a pack of Nicodemus. This whole intellectual thing that people get into drives me batty. Intellectuals find it the hardest to get past this. Kind of had a little personal experience with that one. Lots of thinking. And this game is to not think, right? Thought is the child of Mot and thought. Okay? Mot is the singular of the duality. Did a little research on that. Interesting here. Let me just bring One sec. Let me bring it up on the screen. Okay, and of course it has the muat, right? Moo, cow jumps over the moon. This stuff, you can't make this shit up. It's too funny. Mat or ma'at, thought to have been pronounced muat, also spelled M-A-T, or mayet, was the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance, order, law, morality, and justice. Mat was also personified as a goddess regulating the stars, seasons, and the actions of both mortals and the deities, who set the order of the universe from chaos at the moment of creation. Her ideological counterpart was Isfet. So that would be the rival, Isfet. Excuse me. The earliest surviving records indicating Maat is the norm for nature and society in this world and the next were recorded during the Old Kingdom, the earliest substantial surviving examples being found in the pyramid texts of Unas, and that's circa 2375 BC and 2345 BC. Now later, as a goddess in other traditions of the Egyptian pantheon, where most goddesses were paired with a male aspect, her masculine counterpart was Thought, and their attributes are the same. After the rise, they were depicted together in the solar bark. After her role in creation and continuously preventing the universe from returning to chaos, her primary role in Egyptian mythology dealt with the weighing of souls that took place in the underworld, Duat. Her feather was the measure that determined whether the souls, considered to reside in the heart of the departed, would reach the paradise of afterlife successfully. And pharaohs are often depicted with the emblems of Maat to emphasize their role in upholding the laws of the Creator. And it's very interesting, the feather that is in this hieroglyph or frieze is looks very much like an ear, you know? Isn't that funny? Well, have a look at it. You've got the fa ether, right? Feather, right? The heart note ether. Also noted today as well, checked out her right hand that you can see in this frieze, and lo and behold, she's got the hands of a male. She also has, looks like the proportions, and nice wide shoulders, and nice big feet. So Maat is the androgynous. It's the balanced energies, and that's the whole idea of keeping order in the chaos, to keep things balanced. Right? Now, I saw the statement of Ra, where Maat and Thought were depicted together in the bark. Well, that to me is the Trinity, hidden in plain sight. Thought is the child. Thought is the creation of the unification of the left and the right, the masculine and the feminine, the positive and the negative, working in a singularity. So there's your Trinity, the Father, the Mother, and the child, depicted in two, because the one is already the itself. And that's what Maat is. That's what I saw in it anyway, and I went over that picture fairly well. Now, just to continue on a little bit, then I'm going to read out what the cards were. I've got a few other things I wanted to go into as well. But anyway, that as a principle was formed to meet the complex needs of the emergent Egyptian state that embraced diverse peoples with conflicting interests. The development of such rules sought to avert chaos, and it became the basis of Egyptian law. From an early period, the king would describe himself as the Lord of Maat, who decreed with his mouth the Maat he conceived in his heart. Now again, don't get caught up in the physical. This is the hardest part, the literal, for people to look past. Start seeing only the energies as they're intertwining, and what you can find within yourself that is in or out of balance, things that push you one way or the other. If there's an emotion involved, there is something in there that you need to look at. That's all. Just have a look at it. What's throwing you out of balance? What is creating the judgment within you? What is creating that need to be right or wrong? What is creating that separation from the rest of consciousness in that divided and conquered state of mind? And the emotions, they're your key. They're your key. You'll figure it out real quick. If something doesn't quite feel right, then spend some time with it to see why. And just keep asking that question. Yeah, too many things came up together. I mean, I watched The Mummy last night, and of course, it's so funny. I watched The Mummy Returns, and it was how everything interlays, and everything that we're talking about is getting laid out in full panoramic color. I mean, you've even got the character Evie and O'Connell, right? So there's the son of the Khan of El, right? Alexander was their kid in the second movie, right? So there's your Alexander the Great, Macedonia reference, et cetera, et cetera. But it was very interesting to go through and really eyeball all of the symbolisms and what they're saying anagogically. Not, like I talked last night about the academics that will read something literally. And here I can look at something, a steel or the Narmer's palette, the cosmetic tool that right. And just with looking at it, you can see everything that you need to see. I mean, like, there's the king ready to smite down the human with the scorpion mace, which looks awful similar to the Spear of Destiny in The Mummy Returns, the second movie. Remarkably similar. Anyway, right beside it, this guy that's getting a nail driven into his head, it looks like, you've got the name and address, right? And that's exactly what happens. The mere utterance of a name, the mere assumption or presumption that anyone or anything can make, when you simply just don't say, no, the minute you try to turn around and say, well, no, that's a dead fiction, you still don't know who you are. You're still not standing your ground. Because you're still holding on to something. Basically what you're saying, well, yeah, that's my name, but I'm not going to let you catch me with it. But you just did because I assumed spiritual responsibility for it. Damn. And that's the werewolf vampire. It's a simple answer. Somebody says, are you so? No. Click. Have a nice day. Are you going to identify? No. Have a nice day. Because as soon as you do that, nothing can come near you. I don't care if you're where you're living, what you're doing, anything. Once you get to this point, you hold all the werewolves and vampires at bay on the spiritual level. This is the part that people have a hard time getting. And fear will keep them in that place. Until you're ready to say, you know what, to the death, bitch. Truth is the only thing I will go for. Until you can get there, you're still in fear. You're still walking around, looking for a comfort zone, looking for a savior of some kind. Well, like 99% of my, disbelief, but you're going to cling on to that 1% that's going to get your soul owned. This is not a halfway in the virgin game. Like I told you before, you either don't get into bed with this whore or you go balls deep. There's no half miler here. There's no almost pregnant. It's the old damned if you do and damned if you don't catch 22. And you're going to be tested on both sides of this equation. And granted, yeah, you want to stay in the physical whore of Babylon game, you'll get your test. You'll have to put up with a little bit of government bullshit here and there, and constant fleecing with more and more of your energy getting sucked out of you until you're at the point where, well, you're a slave anyway. So what does it matter? With a name, those that are running this system are going to steal all your shit anyway. So I don't know why you're working so hard. Because if you got a name, you don't own shit. It's like on Friday night. Is this car yours? Yep, it's mine. So they got a key. You guys heard it. So you're not going to identify? Nope, not in your jurisdiction. And I carried on. Watched the little werewolves swarm around the car for a bit, and then they went over and swarmed around each other, and then they swarmed the fuck out of there. Tow truck and all. Why? Maybe ask yourself that question. There's no such thing as a future court date. You either end it. You've got all the information you need to do that. But you've got to get this in your heart. There's no one coming to save you. You're it. Good news is the information's there to be able to stand in that place. And really, this is my book of life. Everything that's on that website, that's my book of life. Step by step, walk by walk, situation by situation, describing it in grim detail. And many of you have walked this road for a long way with me. And many of you have made it home. And I know who you are. And there are many of you, many out there, that are very close. And you know it. The last little strings that are holding your Pinocchio puppet in a position where it can get bobbed up and down. It's not that difficult. It's just damn near impossible. Yeah, it's a bit of an oxymoron, right? Yeah. Maat is the mother goddess. She's trans. Her counterpart is thought. And 42, by the way, that's the number of laws that are laid out from Maat. And for anyone that knows The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, yes, we already know the answer to life is 42. And that was something that Sue used to say all the time. And anytime I'd say, I got a question, she'd always say, 42. That's the answer. And gosh darn it, if she wasn't right. To a level that I'm sure that she's not even aware of. I did try to point that out in the little letter I wrote a while back for her. But, you know, things are what they are, and that's okay. But remember this, if you're gullible, that's because you're still looking for comforts. You're still razzled and dazzled. Me, the game is very simple. It's all about gratitude. It's all about showing how a professional drifter can show abundance. To be benevolent. My whole universe is wrapped up in four wheels, and that's only to get me from point A to point B. And by the way, I love all these people who say, well, you should come and visit me. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. That's all I've been doing with everybody. How about someone come and fucking visit me for a change? Why am I doing all the driving? Funny how that works, eh? Something else too. I think we did talk. Well, I talked about this a little bit. Depression and neutral emotions on that chart were the only two that didn't have any fire in them. You know, of emotions, right? Like the glee of insanity called happiness, and the glee of lust and infatuation listed under love. Humanity's got such a screwed up notion of what love is. Love is pure neutral bliss. It allows all things. No, well, I'm going to take that little bit, and you can keep that little bit, and I like the way you put your toilet roll on the wall, but I don't like the way you set the table, and so on and so on. Okay, that's not love. Sorry, not at all. Quite the opposite. But anyway, deep was a beautiful post today. Depressed phonetically sounds out as deep rest. I'm just going to go and read it. It was a quote by a gentleman that was on it as well. I'm going to do the tarot readout for you guys, and then I will get these lines open and get everyone jumping in. One sec. Almost there. Yeah, here it is. The word oxymoron is actually an oxymoron. Oxy means sharp. Well, it's one of its meanings. And moron meaning dull. Well, that's one of its meanings. Give you lots more. What language? You just focused on English? Oh, that's right. Right. See, that's the problem, especially with people that are still mucking around in the legal shit. Right? Take your wellies and keep them on because you're wading in it. Anyway, yeah. This Phoenician, sound, assumption, presumption. All right. And that's the thing, too. Everything I've said tonight, you've already assumed what I meant by it. That's how I communicate. It's all by assumption and presumption of what we think someone said, based on habit and programming. If you could see the words as I speak them, as I'm intending them, it's an entirely different game. You wouldn't be able to read that book, promise. But anyway, the word depressed is spoken phonetically as deep rest. We can view depression not as a mental illness, like the system wants you to think, but on a deeper level, as a profound and very misunderstood state of deep rest, entered into when we are completely exhausted by the weight of our own identity. And they'll give you all sorts of pills to get you back into the happy zone, to get you back into all anger and all the rest of it. They want, a spirit will never raise in frequency in an emotional state. Fact. What happens when you get into the deep rest is you're looking around and the whole planet's just not making sense, so that makes you sane. Oh, but the mental health people will tell you, you're sad and you're depressed. Here's some Prozac. Careful, I think 1 in 10 wants to go off and go postal and kill people, be at a McDonald's or something. Oh, they'll dress up all these wonder drugs because apparently thinking this place is insane is wrong. When you get into a deep rest situation, what that's telling you is, yeah, you're getting it. And guess what? There's only one move up from there to neutral. Because you won't hit neutral until you get into a deep rest or meditative state. And that's the last thing those that control your minds want you to have, is any sense of quiet, any sense of calm. They want you going schizoid, yap, 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 talking about everything and anything at all to keep you caught in the physical merry-go-round. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I'll tell you, slaves don't have a right to say much. That's a fact. And it gets to a point where if you're not catching this and you're not starting to push out of this, you just keep going deeper and deeper. Drop body, cocoon, out you go, back to start, back to your birthday, and work your way back through until you get it. You've just got to put the last piece of your heart in there. That's the neutral one. That's what's symbolic of Ireland, with Ulster being the missing piece of the complete heart of Ireland. That's the piece, the nurturing, compassionate, divine feminine that has been raped, murdered, burned at the stake, whipped, flogged, massacred out of you and humanity. There's your Akhenaten type and your Nefertiti. Something else, too, I like to look at. They love putting the bad guys' names on the good guys and the good guys' names on the bad, so that you're assuming and presuming with that sound it's evil. So, again, flip it over. Look at the Mummy. They did the exact same thing. Same thing. Everything's backwards here. Just wanted to make sure I cover. Oh, hexagon, or the hexagon is the hex to the spirit of my all. That's what a hexagon is. So you take out the G there and you put the K back in, and what you have is, the spirit returned. All right. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to cover on that. Yeah, it plays out like a really bad B novel, some pulp fiction movie when you start to catch on to it. So anyway, I'll do the card read that I pulled today, and then we'll get these mics opened up. Let me see. Yeah, we've got lots of you guys here. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll open these mics up anyway, so that they're already done.
Hi.
Be mindful on your end to keep her muted out if there's any noise around. So I'll just do this card spread and let you know what we drew on New Year's today. Lots of really cool clues that came out today as well. The lady that was lost on a desert island for 7 years talks about killing a goat by bludgeoning it to death. Yeah, perfect. Works for me. So the spread went as follows. Start card, which is the... where are we? Just like to go literal for you guys. So this is the relationship to the present situation. Noise on there? Okay, got it. All right, I'll open it up as soon as I'm done. All right, the first card was the Ace of Cups. That's the Holy Grail. Yeah, cool, huh?
Cool.
What it means is abundance, happiness, nourishment, and protection. The beginning of a fulfilling, worthwhile project or cycle in life. Contentment, joy, satisfaction. Lending one's skills to further a noble cause. Goodwill and divine inspiration. Fertility and productivity. Following a higher call. Receptivity to a higher plane. Receiving the fruits of past kindness. I'm just going to mute everybody out here because there's a lot of shit going on in the background. Sorry, guys. I get distracted very easy when I'm in a zone. I'll open them all up in a sec. Bear with me. Did I just mute myself? Nope, I'm still there. Okay. All right, so there's the start card. Not a bad out of the gate, I think. That's pretty good. So let's talk about what lies over top of it. And the number 2 position represents the positive forces or assets working in our favor. And that happens to be the 4 of Spears. So let's go to the 4 of Spears. It's a goodie. La Cote, Male Tale, and Maledisant. Prosperity, celebrations, romance, and social events. Past efforts come to fruition, bringing great satisfaction. Sharing one's good fortune with others. Creating a secure foundation for the future. Diligent hard work is rewarded with a time of peace, overcoming obstacles, emotional and material blessings. Well, let's just equate that to the spirit, and I'm all peachy-peachy with that. In the 3 spots, I feel like I'm calling out a horse race here. Anyway, it can be viewed as a message from the higher self, and in the 3 position is the card number 2, the Priestess. Oh, you're going to love the last card. You are going to love the last card. I did. Yeah. Anyway, message from the higher self, a deep stirring within the self, a subtle but powerful connection with the collective unconscious or world soul, an inspired state of being, surges of wisdom that benefit any creative endeavor, artistic, esoteric, or scientific, seeking guidance and knowledge, seclusion and self-reliance, good judgment and astute psychic ability, and principles and grace, a need for solitude, creating a receptive state of mind. Meditation brings new solutions to light. So that's the get deep, get dark, shut the fuck up, and listen. Enough of the monkey chatter. Unless you want more of the same. I mean, that's entirely up to you, right? But no, I'm good. So anyway, in the 4 position is the preoccupation of the subconscious, which filters into waking life. And lo and behold, if it isn't card number 20, the Judgment. Just a coincidence, yeah? That's what I thought too. Ruled by Pluto. And we all know what Pluto's about. You know, Pluto and Chiron, a little bit of destruction, creation. The meaning is this: the awakening call of one's destiny, an effort to understand life's higher purpose. New perceptions enhance and expand one's philosophy. Improvement, development, and change. Reaching a crossroads and conducting a self-evaluation. 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 The acceptance of responsibility. An understanding of how one's actions influence others. People do you know love to get involved in everybody else's bullshit. A need for fair, responsible conduct. Acclaim, promotion, and reward. The hope one's deeds and achievements will bring immortality. I assure you they do. Good health, a judgment in a legal matter. Yeah, the bitch comes down. Go to the 5 card, which is regarding past events and influences that color and give rise to the current situation. And how fitting is this card? The 9 of Spears, the wind harps of war. Let me just get to it. Just a coincidence, indeed. Anticipating hostility. This is the past. Okay, this is regarding fear. This is past events that gave rise to where we are right now. Anticipating hostility. No, not anymore. Preparing for upheaval and conflict. Yep, we did that. Foresight. Yep. Gaining an advantage by putting one's affairs in order before trouble strikes. Fear. The teachings of the past leave one better equipped to cope with hostility. That's called knowledge. Sensing unrest. Putting up a strong defense and outwitting an adversary. Yeah, we sure did. Let's go to the number 6 card. Now remember, this is the reading for the table. See how it resonates with you. The card in the 6th position represents the state of relationships with others. And it is the 3 of Shields. Almost there, guys. Give me a sec. There we go. I thought it was the homespun tunic. Anyway, the homespun tunic. Skill and growth. Making progress in one's vocation. Yes, you're changing the world. Meaningful, constructive use of talents. Look at you go. Pursuing a dream with the advice and cooperation of others. Sounds like the table to me. Laying a foundation and gathering the material goods needed for future exploits. I would say spiritual goods, but there you go. An increasing sense of identity and purpose. You're starting to know who you are, who you really are. And this card indicates the success of ventures being planned at this time. Yeah, well, system takedown, that's all I've had planned. That works for me. So let's go to the 7 card, which is the of Cups, which is Corbenic. Just to tell you what that position means. That's a psychological state, an attitude, which can greatly affect the outcome of the matter. Remember, it's your point of view, your perspective, and how you're looking at it. Be it polarized from one side, seeing right or wrong, or from the singularity of standing on the back of that dragon, grabbing it by the throat and by the tail, and holding it in place, just as it was on the Narmer's pallet, with the serpopards being held in place by a man on each side with ropes, like leashes. You've got to put both aspects on a leash to get them balanced. So the 7 card indicates the psychological state and attitudes, and it is the 10 of Cups. Corbenic. Lovely card. Home and happiness, completion, contentment, and blessings. A comfortable and secure domestic life. A peaceful, warm existence. Achieving emotional fulfillment. It's called neutral bliss. It's awesome. Lasting success. The successful completion of a long-term goal. Mounting self-esteem. Gaining the respect of one's community, virtue, and honor. Have a look at yourselves in the mirror with that one. And put a smile on your face. I'm actually going to start calling the smile a frown and the frown a smile, right? Is my L? No, I'll leave the L out of it. I'll go with the Frau Mine, the divine feminine mind. See, they even turned that upside down. It's kind of funny, eh? So let's go to the 8 card. You're going to love the outcome. 8. The environment and unseen forces influencing this situation. And it just so happens to be the King of Cups, the Fisher King. Imagine that. A mature, dignified man of authority, someone who may be relied upon for guidance and assurance. This is your higher self, guys. A man of strong faith and liberal views, a person who displays an interest in the arts and sciences, one whose strength lies in their mind, which, when combined with this uncanny foresight, is capable of orchestrating and achieving long-term goals. Can represent a lawyer, successful businessman, scientist, or artist. A person who tends to be reclusive and carries an air of mystery. Yes, I'm sure your friends look at you that way. Come on, guys, you're the rebels. You're the ones actually standing outside the box going, this place is nuts. All right, so card number 9 indicates the hopes and fears. And it is the 6 of Shields, which is the Castle of Maidens. The Castle of Maidens was where the spell was. Generosity and kindness, receiving help from others, a sense of relief as a burden is lifted from one's shoulders, an improvement in circumstances, receiving a gift, material gain, sympathetic and supportive friends, charitable acts, sharing one's knowledge and experience, sharing good fortune, a windfall, gratitude, lucrative business transactions. I translate all this into the anagogic of what we're accomplishing on a spiritual level. You see, the problem with everything here is written literally, so you've really got to step back and pull this out to see what it's really saying. And that's what I'm seeing so much more of, where the Spirit is shining forth. You're seeing this happening around the world. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let some mouthpieces out there lure the good minds in to gain notoriety and draw in all of their listeners and followers just because they can sell a good story. See, there was a reason why I was part of an event. I wasn't allowed to be, I was supposed to be in on the call with Santo Bonacci and Sasha Stone, but Andrew Bartzis made damn sure I didn't get in there. Just letting you know.
Aloha, Kate.
Hey, Mike, hang on. Almost done here. We're hitting the home. So, last card. Oh, yeah, the bit's in the mood tonight. I'm just tired of the bullshit from idiots. That's all they are. Round and round you go. You want to play the meat stick game? There you go. Mare, ego, round. All right, the final outcome. Number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel has turned. Change of fortune, karma, the beginning or end of a cycle. Good luck, destiny. An arising chance for growth and development. Riding a wave of success, fortuitous timing. Seeds planted in the past come to harvest. A need to recognize a window of opportunity, as it is only temporarily available and will disappear with the inevitable turn of the wheel. Yes, make your choice. Batter up. So there's the read. Michael, how are you doing? Great job this morning.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all. Big thanks to Critical Mass Radio. .co.uk. The Outside the Box. Everyone comes here to the Emerald Table. Much gratitude and aloha. Yeah, Kate. I hear ya. Totally resonating here. There was one more thing. Remember at the end of the show you were going to share? It was something else somebody had posted on Facebook. It was I went back and read that.
Which was that again? I knew there was something we talked about, but you know what happens with me, right? I just off on a new trail, right? Do you remember what it was?
Not right off the top of my head.
No, I didn't write it down.
So, yeah, happy new reality.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year. Happy 0 point.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy neutral dance.
I'm going to get these mics opened. So let's get everybody in here, okay?
Yeah.
And if you want to keep rolling after the 10 o'clock, you can, because you have the board tonight, Mike. Like I said, I am absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, I got a few more hours of light here. I want to head back. I'm outside right now as it is, but I want to go back out down the road and be out in this glorious day.
Absolutely. Well, let's get everybody in here. I've got one caller in from the all ones number, so I'm not sure who that is. All right.
Aloha.
Oh, is that me, Kate?
No, Richie. I've opened you up. No, there was. Okay. One sec. I think I know. Yeah, it's probably Barbara, because sometimes that number will come up.
How come Barbara's? I got a question real quick, because I'm in the zone here. I was drifting off. I was in that in-between state when you were talking, and I could really feel the energy like flipping through me, and it's all good. But you know what? I'm going to start off with this real quick, Kate. I'm just going to go on here with about a year or so ago, I had a dream, and I know it's relating to this table, because what I can see and hear, because my frequency is like peaking right now, and is we're gathering the different people from the four corners of the earth, right? Northwest, south, and east, right? That's spelled the news. We are the news, for real. And I got to do my job and match your speed and frequency, and as others bring this in, because what it is we're doing is we're becoming the dominant frequency.
We are the dominant frequency. You're right.
We are the dominant frequency, absolutely, 100%, without a doubt. Hands down, and this is the thing. This is why I had this dream, because we are time travelers, and it relates to that Dharma guy.
Richie, hang on a sec.
Yep.
Guys, I've got the mics open here, and there's a shit pile of noise. See, there's an echo. Someone's got speakers on. Please, if you put your hand up, make sure it's quiet on your end.
You want to shut them off and I'll go back on again? Or?
Not sure where it is. I've got a bunch of lines open here. Please, guys, do me the courtesy. If you're going to put your hand up, make sure it's quiet. Make sure you got your speakers turned down. See, I'm still hearing the echo.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And it has to do with this frequency, and I'm going to point out a point with you, Kate, with Barbara, and it was the video back on, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, three. Now, just write this down real quick, and I'm going to carry on. But at 3/12/2014, right? That video, at 2 hours and 10 minutes into the video, take a look back at that and see what you hear, and you tell me, what you hear. It's all good, but what I think it is the collective unconscious or subconscious is stuff that's slipping in. Remember that time I think she was speaking to? It sounded like she was
That's all, Richie. That's all I hear all the time. That's why I only follow the now. So as soon as something resonates, then I go looking for it. So that's real for you, and this is why you need to talk from your perspective, and just even mention.
I need help though with it. Like you know what I'm saying, Kate? I can't. I think we see a little piece, and then the other person can actually put that piece to. It's something I saw, my intuition. And it's all good. Like I say, I don't see things as good or bad. I see it as a game, but I think it's recognizing it and dealing with those things in a completely 0 point. Well,
only you can do that. And again, this is the reaching out and looking for someone else to lead you. No, I will not do that. That's where I tell people to go. Hang on. No, I'm talking very general. See, this is chill. Fucking chill. I'm not in the mood tonight, guys. Really, I've had it with the fucking defending ego shit, okay? Really. And I've seen it too much of it today. So just chill out. Please.
I'm right there with you, Kate.
I know you are. I know. See? There you go again. Defending. That's an ego. So put it in check and just say, the only answer I will accept right now.
Yeah. Okay, Kate. I'm not defending, though.
You just did again. 2 letters. Okay.
Okay.
This is how tricky this little bastard is, and I will sit there with a mallet and smack its forehead every time it jumps to it. I promise you. I'm pretty good at it, right? Because I love you that much. And that little bastard needs to put its head away. So here's the game.
Yeah.
what resonates with you, my friend, this is for everybody. And I only speak third party. I keep telling people this. I'm not talking directly to one individual unless I specifically say your name. Okay? This is a collective consciousness, so I speak to all. And I speak from my own experience as to what I've had to go through, and I'm thinking, that was pretty shitty. I wonder if anyone else has noticed it. Yeah, you did too. Okay, cool. And then we resonated together, all right? So what I do, how I find things for me, is I just find what resonates for me. And if I can't answer the question right away, then I get into quiet. That's all I do. I don't go looking and asking people for anything or what do you see there. I will put things out there and say, I saw this, 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 and this. If you want to look at it, knock yourself out. I can show you things like Interstate 60, the movie. That is a true story of the spiritual path. That is a true story of the Christ-walking consciousness of trusting in the all in the spiritual sense. Why do I know it's a true story? Because I live it. I'm on that highway. And all I'm trying to do is to share how to get there. And when you start seeing it for yourself, the training wheels come off. And then you start trusting yourself more and more. And that's what's happened to us is we have lost so much faith in ourselves. And if I have to, I will beat that faith back into you. I promise you, I will beat you to the point of you hating me enough to love me for doing it. And love me enough to hate me for not doing it. And that's how it works for me. Unconditional. I don't give a shit what people think of me, what people say of me. I know what my intention is. I know what my prime directive, what my target is in achieving that benevolent bliss. And I will stop at nothing. No compromise. Nothing. I won't buy into the Sasha Stone nonsense. I won't buy into the empty Kishi shit. Because all it is to me is another lure of the physical to keep you thinking that it's all going to be peachy. Now, what happens that's different there is you become cause and you start changing the game. It's your thought that's going out now. It's not buying into some other. That's what gullible is. We're all walking the gullible's travels here. What are you going to buy? What are you going to swallow because somebody else thinks it's a good idea? And when you're conditioned for as long as you are, and we all have been, to accept things with complete trust of others. I mean, we were taught to respect and trust our teachers, our police officers, our judges, our lawyers, our governments, and our mayors, and they're all and the newspapers, and they're all a bunch of lying fucking dogs. Parasiting on the spirit to keep us down. Sorry, this bitch has had enough. And I'm tired of watching others of other points of me as you getting shit on. And that's what this table is all about. Enough of that. Here's the toilet paper. Start wiping. So there you go. Mini rant over. I haven't done one of those in a while, so there you go.
I hear you. Hey, listen, I'm everything but gullible. Everything but, you know. Like you say, I listen to a lot of people. I listen to a lot of those people that are trying to pull good consciousnesses who are at a point, right, a critical mass, right, in discovering themselves. You see, right? I can't discover who they are. I know that. You see, I'm not out to say that I can help somebody discover who they are, but what we're doing here is discussing the frequencies of where we are at this point in time. You know, and that's what it is we're doing. As we're discovering things within ourselves, we're sharing them. You know, I'm not telling anybody, I don't think anybody here at the table, you know, how to go about that. It's a
no. I'm not saying you did. And there's that tricky little bee coming up again. Okay, so let's just drop.
No, I know, but that's what you were referring to.
Well, no, that's what you thought I was referring to.
Yeah.
Please do not put word. Hang on. You see, that's what ego does. It wants to imprint. Here's my idea, and you accept it. Fuck you. No, sorry, not going to happen. And that's why people will run into a wall with me on occasion. I hear, and again, it's not about hearing or seeing. It's about what I'm feeling. And when I feel it, don't worry, I'll push that puppy right back. And this is not about being paranoid or being cautious or anything, because I'll tell you something right now. When you get into the heart zone, when you truly are in the benevolent heart zone, you know. You don't have to think. You know that when you get within range of someone, exactly what they're all about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm. Trust me, I'm there.
Yeah.
Done it, been there, done
I'll tell you what. I'll
You know?
just trust at this point in the game, as I'm trying to teach everyone. Trust only yourself. When you begin to trust yourself, that's when you will learn what it really means to be empathic, to feel your way through this game. You don't have to think at all.
All right. Yeah.
You are pure love, pure light, pure light source. You're that empty cup, that grail of absolute void, chaos, that is putting forth the light. And that light, going back to Mott again, that's the whole idea of bringing what you're creating into the light. You're a light source. Like, you're the one. Basically, you're the battery and the bulb, and you're the one that is flashing your light. What's happened is our lights have been dimmed to the point where we just turned the damn things off and just watched other dazzles. I'm sorry. I'll create my own razzle dazzle. Thank you. So just hang on, Richie. Just want to get everybody in here, and we're not cutting you short here. I just want to, again, this is always with me. I just want to make sure that everyone is at the table. Who else we got? Michael from Richmond Hill. I know we got Richie. We got Mystified. We got. Oh, let me open 956. See if it's a bit quieter over there.
Thanks.
Richie. Hey, Manny, how are you?
Hey.
I got it this time. Anyway, jump in here, guys. This is Happy New Year. Let's keep it now. Keep it, alive, okay? You got the wheel.
All righty.
Spin this puppy over.
Jay, you mentioned something earlier. It was about Dr. Keshi.
Oh, yeah.
Well, today was the day he released his USB drive that he had given to all the leaders of all the countries.
Yeah.
They've been talking the last year or so. And I was one of the people that downloaded it. And, so now he claims that he's in fear of his life, and so he's just releasing everyone.
Yeah, physical meat sticks have that effect.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see in a short time if anyone can actually.
I keep hearing like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it's again. There's.
That'll be the proof in the pudding when someone else can duplicate his claims. And,
like somebody's doing Morse code.
Yeah, it's a clicking going on. I think that might be on your line, Manny. 1 sec. Let me just double check here. 1 sec. Yeah, it's on your line, Manny. I don't know what's going on with your phone, bud, but you got a click going on. You got a shit pile of noise in the background. So let me open up again and see if we can solve this.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, it's still got a click going on. That happens sometimes with phones, so I'm not too worried about that. But the bottom line is, let's look anagogically, look from above. If someone actually knows who they are, they have no reason to fear for their life, and that to me is just simply fear porn to make people grab at it even more. Oh no, he's going to get killed. We better grab it. Okay, so that's a rabbit grab it carrot, as far as I'm concerned. That's COINTELPRO. I mean, I don't know about you, but I saw the presentation, and the thing that he had spent years working on looked like something I could have put together in my workshop with some Perspex glass and soldering iron. Okay, there was nothing professional about it. So again, and of course, didn't show anything either. Isn't that funny how that works? It's all razzle dazzle. So I'm not buying any of it.
Will be when.
Well,
the proof will be when someone can duplicate his claims now that he released all his information.
And again, the physical aspects of this place are what's going to keep people trapped in their fear and in their comfort zones, you know. Me, I'm working at it backwards. These are tools that for me, as a God being, which we all are, I don't need. And I'm working my way back to that. That's the faith.
Well,
and
how
trust
do
I
you
have
know
in myself.
that they will manifest in a way that you won't expect?
I'm just manifesting my reality as I see it. I'm just taking it now by now, right? I'm not planning anything. I'm not doing anything but exposing truth. That's it. And
that's your intent.
Well, that's my intent.
Your intent. Okay, so other people have a similar intent, and they get to it from a different angle.
Well, I'm not disputing that. I'm just laying out what my intent is. My intent's very clear. I just keep walking and finding more and more things in line of truth. And I'm not going to get razzled and dazzled by anything placed out there in the physical. Manny, they're all the same standard operating procedure. It's the same thing that I'm seeing in these things. I don't come to these conclusions lightly, my friend. I really look at these things to go, okay, what's the intent there? What kind of emotion is it invoking? If it's invoking any negative emotions at all, or overly happy ones, there's nothing neutral about it. If someone came out tomorrow and said, listen, you're all God, and this is how we do it, now I got some ears on. Because what does a God need with a free energy generator from all creation itself? You see, that to me is so retarded. You know?
Well, maybe it's for the benefit of the other meat sticks.
Well, again, for the other meat sticks that are going to keep playing in the meat stick game, sure, I'm going to agree with that. I don't agree with that. That's all. You know? So I'm not going to make it right or wrong. For me, it doesn't resonate with me. Well, I'll tell you, it does a lot of counter resonance with me. Is what it does. And you can take what you want.
Well, I was curious. I downloaded the blueprints. I'm going to make the Keshe generator and see what transpires.
Sure, why not?
And I'll share that out with everyone and see what happens.
Sure, absolutely.
I like experimenting.
Are you following your heart? Then you're on the right track.
Yeah.
That's
all.
all.
I brought that up because I thought it was interesting. You mentioned it the day he releases everything.
Well, again, I look at the name in the phonics, and so far every name has proven itself to be perfect. And when I see empty Keshe, I go, yeah, I know. Just like Schutzstaffel.
Yeah, it could be all the hoax and another pipe dream for people.
Well, that's it. Can we keep mankind chasing these physical carrots? That's what happened. That was the difference in the allegory between Atlantis and Lemuria. Atlantis was all technology driven, which destroyed everything, and Lemuria was all about spirit, the druids, the truth. You know, so.
See, Kate, you know what? He said the word. You said the word hoax. See, that's what this is. See, we're in a recording timeline. You see, this is Groundhog Day. This life is a hoax.
Yep.
This is the point of what Kate's doing, is seeking truth, the whole truth and nothing but. And if you do that, which I do and have done, and I know and understand that this life is a hoax, we're bringing this spirit up and out of this illusion, you see? So when you hear people talking, all of it's a hoax. I don't care if it's literal or non-literal, if it was made up, like the many things, or if it wasn't made up. It's a hoax. Nobody dies. Everybody lives forever, except for the illusion of the ego's echo existence. You see?
Yeah. Everybody.
So what
I
did, right? I put an end to my ego's existence back in '91. Crushed it, atom smash it, gone. That's what I do. You see? I'm an eternal being that floats around, right, from place to place to place, and destroys egos. What a job! It's a career. That's my career. What I do. I do it for kicks and giggles. And that's exactly what Kate's doing. This is what we're doing at this table, is we're literally destroying the ego.
Cool, Kate.
You know?
Well, I'll tell you, when I spend day after day going through
that's pretty cool.
Thing after, like be it a movie or be it an article, whatever, and I'm reading the same story over and over, and then it's all getting exposed in the phonetics, like to such a level, it's
right.
It is laughable. You really start to get the cosmic joke of it, and it's about bringing things back into balance, right? It's a game. It's a ride.
It's a game.
Right?
Oh,
And
you got to look at it.
Bored out of my noggin with it. That's what the game is with me. And it's like, so ask me if I'm driven to get this game over with, because it is so mind-numbingly boring.
Yeah.
No, you don't you want to fly? Don't you want to travel to other parts of our creation and create new universes and just be? Doesn't that sound like more fun than this nonsense? Then that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it,
as I build my own spaceship.
Right. So why not? But you are your own spaceship. That's the joke, right? And Atlanteans will have you believe that you need to build one, and Lemurians will tell you why. And that's the physical and spiritual. That is the masculine, feminine, the positive, negative intertwining, and it's bringing it into balance so that you're not being caught in the game. Like Tron, the game creator was caught in his own game. Even at the end, he couldn't leave. Me, I'm out of here.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the twinkling of an eye,
yeah,
baby.
Giddy up.
Giddy the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Giddy up,
Yep.
giddy
It's
up.
amazing,
Go,
right?
Meg.
Yep.
Happy New Year, guys.
Hey, guys.
That's all I want to say. You're beautiful.
Hey, what's going on, Janet?
Oh,
I'm
great.
I'm already out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I freaking see it every day.
Yeah.
And when you can see it,
Are you guys with me or what?
oh yeah, how you been?
Just lighting people up,
Do your thing.
No, I think.
Okay. Barb's still got a lot of noise in the background. I'm going to keep checking in periodically. But hey, Michael.
How are you guys?
I was going to ask you.
How are you guys on the radio?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know if you're doing any more shows with Santos.
Sorry, what was that?
Are you going to be doing any more shows with Santos?
I have no idea. I texted him earlier today. As far as I know, he's doing some shows with some of the aforementioned. And
I really like the synergy the two of you had.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. But Sando's he'll come back to the table and he's ready to do it. So here was a post I shared earlier today, and yeah, the deceivers are everywhere. The DC-verts, the physicals, are everywhere. They bring promise of physical trinkets in the form of free energy, money, new systems, etc. You are infinite source power, so why do you need a physical stand-in? They preach the New Age dogma, same as the old age dogma, with pretty bows. Everything I share defies the physical defies the physical traps that abound, inasmuch as this is a spiritual game being kept physical, literal, by so many claiming to be friends of humanity. They will appeal to your comforts, your mitten string dependency, your search of self outside of self, and they brand it with security and use security forces to enforce this. Get out of the dead whore of corporate physical death Babylon, or enjoy your recycling back for another go on the mare ego round. Stop devouring the poisoned apple that is constantly offered.
Yeah.
And people don't want to hear that. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't want to
And you
hear
know what,
things
Kate?
like, pay close attention to these tricks tonight when you're listening to the others. There is a reason why I'm never invited and most certainly not welcome in these groups. They only seek the high-profile ones that can be swayed. I shall not yield. If someone is selling a physical solution, they are of Babylon the whore, period. The letter kills and the spirit lives. I will leave the answer where the answer is.
I like the way Woody Allen said it.
Woody Allen?
Yeah, he says, guy goes to a psychiatrist and says, Doc, you got to help me. My girlfriend's crazy. She thinks she's a chicken. What should I do? And the doctor says, well, you bring her in for therapy right away. Sounds urgent. He says, but I can't. He says, why not? He says, because I need the eggs.
Yeah, who's the crazy one there, right?
yeah, right. People put up with such nonsense in their life. In some way, they're getting some benefit or perceived benefit anyhow. And that's why people do crazy things.
Yeah, it's easy to watch this stuff. Just watch mainstream. Look what mainstream's selling. Look what the new Cage Dogma is selling. And they're selling the exact same shit with different bows. And that's all I'm doing is I'm paying very close attention to the wrapping. And it's easy to spot someone who is really seeking to break this whole paradigm down versus those that are just going along to get along and trying to be everybody's friend. Quite frankly, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here for a Congeniality Award. If I can get you fucking pissed off enough to hate me to the degree that it will wake you, then I've done my job. This is not a popularity contest.
No, and that's where I'm with you, Kate, because I know that this is it's a hoax. You know, this whole place, and that's the part that is difficult to let go of. You know, that's my job. You know, and I know that. I realized that a long time ago, but I got caught up in the crap stuff because it can have a power if you allow it. But that's the thing I'm not doing, is allowing that to happen and getting back on track. And I'm full steam ahead. You know, I'm full steam ahead, and I hear you. You know. And that's the thing, like you said, people aren't going to invite you on that because that's not what people want to hear. You know. No,
they don't want to. They don't want to hear something that gets them out of their lazy boy and their Doritos and Diet Coke watching American Idol. Fuck that. They don't want that. Woo. No, they'd rather have someone that is gullible, trainable, and if people are content to be slaves, then so be it. That's their choice. At this table, we don't go there. At least I don't. And, if I ruffle feathers, look at why I ruffled them, because my intent is only pure benevolence to wake your ass up, in as much as I'm trying to wake my own up, you see. So for me, I got to tell you, if you ever have those moments where you're in an uncertainty and you really start questioning yourself, which I do every day, I always go back to the last base of truth that I know. Catch my breath, get deep, get dark, get quiet, and the next step always presents. And it's really taking that time to back away from the whole scenario in order to not be caught in it. That's the missing the forest for the trees in the hunt for wood, and not even realizing that you're in a forest, So this is an ebb and flow game, and as much as we push out, for me anyway, as much as I push out, I have to ebb back as well to find that middle ground, something where sanity can maintain itself. And this place, it is so difficult to maintain that, and this is what a lot of us are running into. I'm sure. I know I am. But I go back to that last stable datum, that last thing that proves everything that I've always felt. For me, it's not about proving it. I don't need to prove shit to anybody. What I will do is share my experiences. And like I said, it's almost a week ago now, but last Friday night, I don't know about you, but I think that was a pretty good little test of everything that I've been saying all along. And lo and behold, that spiritual energy pushed it all away. And I didn't use any documents, I didn't use any paperwork, I didn't use anything except my intent, and I said, no, sorry, not in your jurisdiction, have a nice day. No, I'm not going to id and I-fi. I'm not going to create that dead meat stick for you. No, you go off and play with your masters. I think I even used that term, something about your masters, whatever or something. I'll have to listen back to it. I just don't have the time. That's the thing is, I'm too busy moving ahead to be looking back. It's like, yeah, it's great. It says everything I need to. If people need to hear it, especially anybody that's still playing in the legal nonsense. Because once you truly get this, welcome to the other side of the looking glass. And we got Colleen in the call here, so I'm going to bring her in.
Yeah,
Colleen. Hi, Kate.
Hello, Colleen.
Hello. Hi. I just wanted to say that. Hi. I just wanted to say that I'm here because I choose to be here. And while you were talking, Kate, I pulled a card. Number 17, depression or deep rest.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Just a coincidence, right?
And in here it says, stop sign of the soul. Depression.
Aww.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, read her out.
Read her out.
Okay. Ingenuous stagnation. Stop sign of the soul. Workhorse mentality. A loyal old draft horse pulls his heavy load through a relentless gray fog. The gift. Depression signals that the path you're taking doesn't coincide with your life's purpose. Breathe and look for a new direction that gives you energy. It's difficult to change old patterns, particularly if they're supported by social conditioning and family expectations. Resist the pressure to become a workhorse for others, mundane ambition. I got to repeat that. Resist the pressure to become a workhorse for others' mundane ambitions. Wow. Depression seems like a weakness or resignation, but it actually holds tremendous untapped energy. People in this debilitating state often feel self-conscious, dim-witted, and embarrassed by their predicament. Yet, according to Carla McLaren, depression is nothing to be ashamed of. Becoming an empath, how to develop the power of your emotional intuition. She calls it the stop sign of the soul. This ingenuous stagnation takes over when people refuse over an extended period to acknowledge the wisdom behind quote-unquote outlawed emotions like anger, fear, sadness, and grief. While some depression do result from chemical imbalance and respond well to holistic, many cases stem from a deep-seated intuitive objection to major life choices. After repeated warnings, the psyche finally hinders our compulsive reenactment of destructive patterns by draining all energy to move forward in the current direction. According to McLaren, people who can't engage this protective mechanism blindly stumble into situations endangering their health, their sanity, and their purpose in life. In a world where we're taught to ignore our emotions, dreams, and true passions, where we enter blindly into the wrong relationships and the wrong jobs, depression is our emergency brake. Depression is our emergency brake.
Yeah, I charcoal all emotions, though. So that guy that's speaking, just to be honest with you, I don't like him. I think he's full of shit. I think he's proud of his intellect. And I charcoal every and any emotion that is there, because that will be the barrier that will stop you from returning to that Christ consciousness.
Yeah, I have a tendency to agree with that. And again, when I hear things about holistic and all, you see, everything in terms of what we ingest is all placebo. It's all physical.
Right.
That's why some people can take potassium cyanide and doesn't affect them, and because they don't agree that it does. It's an energy. So this is about transforming the energy. So let's take that card up to the next level from an anachromagic, and it's that which you agree with is what you are in contract with. So for me, deep rest is that stage of it was very, I love the eloquence of how that other writer just put it. It's that state of I like the stop sign idea of stop. That's your perfect get deep, get dark, get quiet. Here's the problem: when you're dealing with an ego and and it's chattering all around and it's looking at all the different scenarios, that's going to keep you going in a circle. So from a physical ego standpoint, depression is dangerous. But, of course, the system wants to make sure that you're out of that. So they'll give you all sorts of pills to make you happy, get you back into that, burning that fire of emotion inside of you. The glee of insanity is what I call it. And don't mistake happiness with bliss. They're two entirely different things.
Yeah.
Right.
Entirely different.
Yeah, they want you to step up the merry-go-round onto the hamster wheel. That's what they want you to do. And the chemical imbalance, right? That's me, magnetic electric.
Yeah, the darkness I call imbalance. So it is an anagogic spiritual need to look at yourself. And
there you go.
This is a problem with physical versus spiritual, is the physical has become such a crutch to all of us. And it's not easy breaking free of those things. So it's taking the training wheels off and just going with it. Follow your heart. It's as simple as that. The truth shall set you free. It's the only thing that will. And to what end? Manny had brought this up. To what end? I don't know, but I do know this, that the more truth I uncover, the more this whole game changes. It's a different world now than, Judge bows to sovereign days, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just a little.
I do like that, stop sign of the soul. And then depression is our emergency brake. Well, to me, that says that's where you go deep and dark and you get quiet. It's the emergency brake to get out of that, like Richie said, the hamster wheel.
Yep, exactly. And I'm just going to do a quick shout-out here, guys, and I'm going to bow out for the night. My brain is just fried. I have hit my spiritual stop sign. So I need to get deep, get dark, actually go get some air. So I can get buried in behind this computer so much. But great big thank you to criticalmassradio.co.uk, Paul Giovanni and the crew at Critical Mass Radio, Ninja, everybody. And, of course, all you guys that take part in keeping this table going and keeping it hot to trot and definitely on the cutting edge of whoa. So much gratitude there. Anything? Yeah, big cup of whoa, the big electron. It's the big magnet, actually. But there you go. But anything you guys can do to help? Oh, I love you, too.
I love you all.
I love you all.
It's all good at the game, we're just getting better.
I love you too.
Perfecting
I love you.
Well, hey, Michael. Aloha. There you are. You have the helm, so you can choose as long as you want to be on. And like I said, I am doing my best to back away as much as I can to let you guys just take this and go with it, right? You need your heart. You don't need Kate. Okay.
The pieces are coming together, and
Oh yeah, they are, absolutely. So on that, I will say much love to everybody. And Mike, you, the helm's yours. You steer it in whatever direction. I have tried to open Barb's line up a few times. It was a bit noisy where she was, so if you want to keep trying that, you can. But in the meantime, for those who do want to call in, there's 23 minutes left until the top of the hour. If Mike goes past, that's his call. But it's 661-467-2401, and of course you can Skype in and just hit 1 on your dial pad, or open the dial pad on Skype, hit 1 there to let Mike and the rest of the crew know that you want in to have a little chit chat with us. And on that note, I will say Happy New Year. The Wheel of Fortune is turned, and this is our game now.
Yeah.
Have a lovely night, Kate.
You too, guys.
P13.
Yeah. Much love. Take care, guys. Michael, table's yours. Aloha.
Number 42.
Aloha, Kate.
All right.
Feeling good.
Hey. Lovely.
What's 42? Manny, was that you?
Yep.
What's 42? I forget.
42.
Hey, Jan.
It's 42 is the planet Jupiter.
Mhm.
It's going deep, getting dark. Whatever Kate says, that's what it is. Get dark, get deep.
The answer to life.
I'm there. I like it.
You're there, Colleen. Yeah.
Yes.
You're a good reminder. I really, really appreciate that, and I love that when the hummingbirds and everything was. That happened to me one day. The cats just started trying to take the phone away from me when I put it up to my ear because I had it on speaker, and then they were just like jumping into the window and trying to push it like, hey, we were listening. Like, oh my gosh.
Those are your cats?
They were my daughter's cats and some neighbor cats. I was sitting out in the truck at her yard, and they just started jumping in. There was like 3 of them inside. Just, it was funny. And
they heard me talking about hummingbirds.
Yeah.
You were listening in yesterday. Yeah, those hummingbirds. There were 6 of them, you said?
There were quite a few of them.
Yes, hummingbirds and falcons and crows and everything.
Crows were just crazy.
Crows.
Yeah, a couple falcons.
Bigfoot was out there.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. Sorry for you. Yeah. See, you know what I see though? It's like tonight. I think, and I think everyone experiences it at different points in time. Is that there's when you raise that frequency, you know, that Kate gets into, I get into, or we have our moments when you get into that higher frequency. You know, you're not seeing things the same. You know, and but what I know what's going to happen. It's got into it a little bit, and you hear people talking about this alchemical transmutation, you know, the marriage between the yin and the yang. To me, what I experienced, and I haven't really gotten into it, and I probably won't tonight. It's going to be a while because I think that's just what my intuition says. But that is the movement, the moving off of this particular experience. How it ultimately works, I don't know. That's why I tune in to this station, and that's where my intuition says where it's going, along with other things, because that's why I listen to Kate, and she listens to you. Obviously, the certain things that we bring to the table. That's where I see this going. You know, eventually in time, it's gaining momentum. You know. And it's not coincidental because the timing, timing is good, and that's, you know, so, and that's
very
the
good.
process. Yeah, but it
it's
takes
amazing.
And that's why I can see things that. What's that?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can see that's where it's going. That's why, that's why I think any of us have found this. What's that?
Yeah.
The Coptic key is everywhere now.
Yeah, I know. I saw it everywhere. You're right, Manny.
Yeah. There's a lot to that too, and that's the thing is like how Kate's, and I'm sure like you too, Manny. Yeah, it's when the things start going fractal. You know, like I said, I got stuff everywhere, and you start seeing things, but because we only have, you know, this time to speak, right? Our voice, what we're saying, this connection and information. I mean, that's what we do. We the alchemy part of it. You reverse time, and we emit. You know, we're emitting energy, conscious knowledge, awareness. And how
you're
this
hitting
game,
we're emitting
how
frequency. You're
how
emitting
game
a frequency instead of always being a receiver to someone else's. We're now remembering.
Yeah. Well, how this? Well, just let me finish real quick before I forget.
Okay.
How this game operates and works.
All right.
Is with Kate breaking this down along with all of us sitting here tuning in, because as we tune in and hear that frequency are the ones that that are hitting the nail on the head. You see, and are fearless in accepting that energy. That's what's being broken down. Is the knowledge of that. And yeah, see, I lost my focus.
It's dissolving. It's
I'll
like
get it back.
dissolving in truth. It's kind of I see it, Richie. It's like these falsities, so to say, these misperceptions are dissolving in the knowledge of truth, the acceptance of truth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Yeah, and that's the thing. What's going to happen with people? Because I've already done it, but because I went through the process of what it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. Oh, I'm echoing. There we go. I'm having a conversation with myself. Can you hear the echo?
Yeah.
Now, if I answer myself back, that'll be something. But now, this is the thing: is that when you go through that process and literally start destroying those energies, because, like I said, I know that's what I do because it's what I did. So that's kind of self-evident, self-explanatory. That's what I do. I know I float around into different time loops and dimensions and literally destroy dark, dead energy. Because that's part of the alchemical process. And that's where Kate's starting to see that, and it's bringing back and triggering the memory of the experience that I had with the chemtrails. Chem means black, and that's exactly what I did. And when you begin to go through that process, which is that you begin to literally feel like you're going insane. So if you feel like you're going insane, that's a good thing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because your reality of what you've had, like Mike was saying, the perception is converting those energies. It's not because the ego or that dark dead energy wants to hold on to its recorded existences or however it works. I think it's a collective type thing. With the energies, but yeah, so that's what happens is when you begin to go through that, you literally feel like you're going insane. But because I know that's what I do, that's just what I know. I know I come into these different places and
then you laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, what happens? You get to a certain
and
point
then go deep, dark, and quiet.
Yeah. Well, you start to laugh. See, when I got past the I'm going insane part, you start laughing. You take nothing seriously. You know what I used to say to my family?
What was the song I posted last night, Jan?
Well, let me finish before I forget, and then I'll shut up because I'm on a frequency level here.
Crazy.
This is what I would say to my family. This is when you know you're on the right track. I would say to my mother and my sister, I'd say some guy could come in here and cut you guys' heads clean off, and I would watch them roll down the street. And I would say this to them, and they'd be okay with it, because I'm on that level. And I would say I would sit down with that man who just did that to you, have a cup of coffee with him, and ask him what his plans are for the day. Literally. I was in a state where I could walk through a war, see people wouldn't be affected, not one bit, not at all. Because that's exactly what it is that I was destroying, was that ego's attachment and being the effects to the circumstances and things that take place. And that's where I'm getting back into, and it's going quickly, But so anyways, that's when you start to get to that point, that's when nothing affects you, you become bulletproof. That's when that alchemical process begins to trigger itself within you, and watch out. Fireworks are going to start happening.
Yeah, Richie, you mentioned something about how something that really caught was you're not operating in a linear time frame, and since you're not doing this, you're tuning into all different stuffs, like you said, going here, going there. And it's beautiful, and these things are, very real. because we're not in that linear time frame. When we're stuck in the linear time frame and try to relate to this, it's just like, what? And it's just like, yeah. And when you step out of that box, outside the box, all this makes sense because we're not stuck to a confined space-time reality.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Great. You summed it up nicely with icing on top.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And so we're remembering that more, like you said. We're remembering that more. You're going back to remembering how you do that. That was really powerful in the way that, right? You're not that you're cold. You're neutral. You're observing. You're not being a reaction to what some would say would necessarily be a horrific situation. And like, oh, how can you deal with that? No, it's kind of like a keen observer in terms of not looking. It's just this like clear awareness where, like you said, you're no longer at effect.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is that you're not going to be pulled into it by anyone else. You become bulletproof. It's like they start to say, well, why aren't you sad? Because I'm an eternal being and I'm seeing all this or you know, because other people think you should be, you know what I'm saying? I'm just using it for instance, and it's like, no, I you know, it's you're just not. But the thing is like you recognize when you get into that state, you're not going to have a lot of people backing you, especially your family.
Yeah.
You know,
hello. Am I unmuted?
Oh yeah, Alvita. And you know what the
Alvita.
beautiful thing with
Hi.
my family was, as crazy as my mother said I am.
Yeah. I was just thinking. I'm like, it's hard to explain that. You know, it's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling the change too. I'm trying to adjust now. I'm a little bit off, you know, but you know, I'm just trying to adjust because it's like when you look back, everything is just so not real, and you know, it's hard to even relate to anything back there now. So you know, I'm in between. I'm balancing out.
That's why
now.
this table is so important, huh?
It is. Oh God.
I want to bring something up about the equinox today and my feeling with this balance point. This is the in a way why we have this equinox.
Is this Kaipacha?
Because it's the balance of the light and the dark. This is 0 point.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it was beginning of the new year. This was 0 point. This is where you start from. And it's not necessarily where you start from, it's where you are. And so we have this wobble, this tilt in our planet, this influence from the phi-based system that we've been playing out in our experience. And when we have days of like this equinox where we're reminded of the perfect balance, the 0 point, the heart center, where where we're in this state of grace, where no time exists, no space in terms of distance is allowed. We're all interconnected with the heart, and we are in that remembrance and knowledge and awareness. And this is a day of that, bringing that to my attention and being aware of this connection that is on these days. And I feel it's that reminder as we come to the table is that that's every day. This balance is every day. So we're going to start moving towards longer days in a way out here in this physical effect and moving towards solstice, so to say. But in my heart, I know it's always balanced. It's always equal in this love.
Love, huh? Yeah.
No.
It's always there to choose, isn't it, Mike? You choose balance.
Yeah. Yep.
It's all about choices. God, when it comes down, it's all about what we choose.
Yep.
I choose love.
Yes.
Me too.
You You know what I chose? See, that's the thing is I chose to know.
So I am love.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Kate says, and she's right on. Is there is a difference?
Crazy and love.
Crazy and giddy. Yeah, because there's a fine line. Yeah, because I
Pure love.
Hey, that's your little bastard talk or something.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not. None of us are like inside the body that you're in. I'm in my body, right? And we have those magnetic energies that are operating and working. But our conscious intent is the ticket. It's the ticket out. That's the magic. That's the golden ticket.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. Get some music.
Yeah,
All
right, guys. Again, we got about 30 more seconds to talk. You can chime in, share. Yeah, the magic is just unfolding, man. If you got as the heart to see, the heart to feel, the heart to hear. This is where we're coming back to. It's like all our senses are being centered again.
We're being fine-tuned.
Their walls are falling. The momentum is now with us.
Remembering.
It's our time now. At the most pivotal point in history is Critical Mass Radio, 24/7 Truth Radio. Help us to help you. Please go to www.criticalmassradio.co.uk and subscribe £1, £2 or £3 a month. The critical mass has been reached. We must come together. We must stand together. For ourselves, for each other, for our future generations. criticalmassradio.co.uk. Now, it's our turn.
Remember that future generation is right here, right now. We have some grandmothers, great-grandmothers at the table to remind us of that. Future generations, what are you talking about? My generations are right here. My future generations are right here, right now at this table. So we're not putting this off into a time frame, into the future again, where we play the forgetful game again. Woo! Much love, guys. Got about 4 minutes left in this show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you much.
Love to share and
thank everyone. Thank ourselves. Hey, we remembered how to get back to each other to the table.
That's right.
It's the reconnecting. Or remembering the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is all about that remembering. Yep.
Yeah.
And each one will do it. Yeah. That's why I won't step outside the boundaries. That's why when I tune in, I do hear Kate, because she has exceeded to another level. And
that's why we're all here, huh? We're all here for that same reason.
Yep. And
so beautiful that every one of us came from our own unique paths all over the planet, and here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I
all I know. Yeah.
You
always know.
That's it. Yes.
I hear that.
Much love to you all.
Much love to you guys. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect New Year.
Yes,
much
it is.
love, my beautiful family.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love you so much.
22 hours. We'll be talking again.
Our heart soul expressions are always communicating, sharing the love vibrations, sharing that almost the sub-vocal, what we're tuning into in a way, is the sub-vocal tones that the whales sing. We have this similar song.
I love that.
We're tuning into ourselves, and we're because we've heard it, and we come here like, did you hear that? Yeah, here we are. So beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
2 minutes left.
Yeah, and it is about it is about disappearing in the like getting deep, getting dark, and going within, because like I said, I'm not going to exceed the boundaries here, because I'm kind of waiting for the initiation of the consciousness to as Kate unfolds, bringing different elements into the table here, and as each one does. So it's the timing of it, that's what I see, and recognize, and that's why I know it's going to get into the alchemical, the energies that are within us.
It's already there. It's been happening. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
For sure. Here at this emerald table.
Yeah. Well, this is the one message that the masters, you can say, have shared, and I don't know all the names of them, but it doesn't matter. What it is it's the understanding and comprehension of that particular aspect of that. That's the highest level of teaching anyone's gonna get on this planet, or any planet. I don't care what friggin' planet it is, because that's the return. It's a return,
Okay, guys, got less than a minute here. I just want to, again, big shout out to Paul Giovanni and the crew at Critical Mass, Ninja, Kate, everyone that comes to the dinner table. All us love. Right. And remember your imagination. This is also the true alchemical power. It's the power of our imagination. Our imagination, again, is from our heart. This is that imagination. We're dreaming into this consciousness here. That's our sharing. And there is much power in it. Focus on the truth. This is what we're reminded of. Put that into your consciousness and have that be the thing you share and emit. And that will change the frequency of your field and those who want to share in that also. And
that inner child energy.
So much love, much aloha.
Beautiful. Thank you. Aloha. We love you, Kate.
Love you.
Yep. Aloha. Yeah.
Namaste.
Good night, folks. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Namaste. Aloha.
You're caught in the time loop, caught in the trap. And you will see them everywhere. I've seen these operations running constantly, and one of the things that these movements like to do is to the interest of the left brain ego that titillates it with all this curiosity kills the cat stuff. Like Karen Hood's coming out with two races of species, the Vatican proves whatever. And the standard operating procedure for this is to rope in as many people that are actually doing the work to awaken humanity with truth. Sorry, I'm one that will never bite that hook. Thank you very much. But I do have to put it out there. There are many out there that have beautiful truth, beautiful information, and COINTEL groups like this love to bring them into the little fold to get guilt by association or acceptance by association. It's a standard tactic. They did it with the hippie movement. That's how they turned them all into fucking yuppies within 5 years. Here you have all these people, free love and anti-corporate and all the rest of it, 5 years later looking to be buying their new Beamers, and they're the hippie turned yuppie. It's a standard program. You can see this stuff running constantly. And I don't know, guys, but like, is it just me that sees this blatant divide and conquer trap that goes on constantly? This bullshit that gets spoon-fed to us constantly. I just, put the cutlery away. Not in my reality, thanks. I don't let vampires and werewolves into my reality. And I don't care if they come bearing gifts or come bearing guns. My grandfather told me a very long time ago, and it's very potent. Beware of people carrying Bibles and guns. The ones with the Bibles were more dangerous. And the concept behind carrying the Bible, it doesn't matter if it's a Bible, Torah, whatever the case may be, what he was telling me was, be wary of those deceivers, to unsee the truthers. okay? They will come with gifts, the same way that the missionaries came to North America and Australia and all around the planet with their supposed message of salvation. And as soon as they got ashore, buying into the local culture with their little gifts of, shiny tools and all the rest of it, next thing you know, the first thing they were targeting were people like myself, two spirits. They were number one on the list, because here and a little bit there, all things physical are result of the light creation, the construct, if you will. And we'll get into a couple of things here, but I really want to make this clear. And I don't care if you're selling court. I don't care if you're selling legal. I don't care if you're selling free energy. I don't care if you're selling anything in the physical sense where you can teleport a body from here to there. Big deal. I don't think God would have much of a problem with that. Do you? No, you shouldn't. And this is what we have forgotten. But we are remembering so very, very quickly now. And just based on some of the interactions I've had, over the last while, but today there was a lot of very interesting things coming in the power of silence. Nice curtsy and hats off to Barb for her efforts today in showing the power of silence and the intent carried through the ether. And this is the part that people are having a hard time with. They think they need pieces of paper. No, you need to get the concepts, and then you can send the information. These are not shields to protect you, paper shields. They're paper roses. The true power, the true roses, rose, which is the spirit breath of creation itself, is you. This, I know, is it. Your ego will fight this tooth and nail. I know mine has for a long time, till I got a grip on it. This is Oz. This is Harry Potterville. This is everything you ever imagined as a child that was destroyed for you. It is just that. And I've heard from too many people lately that, the more sane you become in this reality, the more insane the physical whore of Babylon reality is. I don't know about you, but, people that find the need to go around and create wars and murder and plunder and steal, just like your legal systems, your governments and all the rest. That's all they do. And there are also many that would be deemed in the new cager movement that are out selling free energy concept and all the rest of it. These are carrots. Remember, good promo, bad promo, it all sells. These are all COINTELPRO, high priest with crucified intent for. Okay? COINTELPRO, you might be familiar with that word. COINTELPRO, break it down. High priest, these are all new.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, on criticalmassradio.co.uk. Yeah, here we go. Happy New Year, as in remembering, KNEW year to all. And we're finally at that point where it's crystal freaking clear to me. Just hope we can get this message across, and how simple a message it is, and so easy for it to not be believed. Such is the nature of Pisces. Got to believe in and not believe in. That's the problem, It starts with things like Santa Claus. You believe in Santa Claus and you get the big letdown. You believe in the Easter Bunny, you get the big letdown. Tooth Fairy, big letdown, And these are very specific programs running in this game grid to keep us from attaining our true status as part of the All Creator Collective of one. So, that being said, I just want to congratulate Mike. Great job. I got in a bit late there this morning, tuned in with him, and just great. What a way to break in the new year with Mike's show. So it was really good. Well done. Mike had a great chat with you at the end of the show there, and we'll continue it on here. because there's a lot of things that I really want to get into. I did a full Celtic shed before the show. As far as what you're probably noticing there, those of you that do have the eyes to hear and ears to see, you're really starting to catch on to the cosmic joke nature of this. And a great big thank you to T for giving me a call today at exactly the right moment, of course, but then I'm in the now, so I know exactly why calls come in and who they are and at what moments, because the only one that can put my reality together for me is, well, God darn it, me. Imagine that. Same rules apply to you. You're the only one that can figure your trail out. All I've been doing is trying to show people how to find that trail, as I have found it, and so many others have found it now as well. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the Whore of Babylon and what it really is. We're dealing in a juxtaposed mirror world here. The Whore of Babylon is quite simply all things physical. I don't mean a little bit. Revelations, and they're constantly coming out day after day. The more I look, the more just explodes. It's beyond funny now. But people like Empty Kishi and Sasha Stone and Andrew Bartzis and all these people that are selling these physical dramas or illusions. Like, the list goes on and on. I'm not just going to pick on them. I'm going to fucking pick on everybody, because if you're not working directly for solving the spirit, as was laid out very clearly for each and every one of us, then you are nothing more than a fucking piece of shit shill in my universe. That's kind of how it works, right? Just like the word gullible. That's the torus field that one creates by swallowing the shit of another. I have my own reality. You have yours as well. These are the temptations of Christ, the to tempt you, the gratitude shuns, okay? And it's not a very easy road to walk. Many of you know this. So many of you know this. I have ruffled more feathers than I'd care to count. And those feathers get ruffled not because of something of an intent that I had of malevolence. No, quite the opposite, you see. And regardless, if there's an ego running, it's going to be polarized, and it's going to choose what it wants to accept as its reality. And it's still got so many people tricked at the helm, thinking that it's them, and it's not. These are night and day concepts. One is spirit, one is physical. The physical ego is interested only in physical comforts. This is one of the reasons why people have such a hard time stepping forward, because it is so far out of their normal day-to-day regimen, and that's what it is. It's a regia mind, to rule the mind, that they're very tough to break. And as I've said in the past, I was one of the lucky ones in that I didn't have to worry about all of these possessions to give them up one at a time, kicking and screaming. They were all ripped from me at once. So it was a very contrasted yet very efficient separation from the physical possession, right? And that's why they're called possessions or belongings, right? If you're longing for something, that's a want. That's like longing for a loved one, longing for pastimes or whatever the case may be. Because of the clue that they were for the separation of the physical and the spiritual. Yeah, they slaughtered beings like me wholesale. Couldn't get rid of us fast enough. Obviously failed miserably. They missed a few of us. And go figure, Celt to boot. So there you go. You've got to be wary of these energies, guys. They're coming at you in rapid fashion right now. This new cage movement is exactly what it is. It's a new cage to try to pull you in the same way people got roped into Nasara, they got roped into Opt, they got roped into all of this bullshit, the white dragon, red dragon, whatever. If you can see the allegory, it's a different story, but unfortunately most are looking at this place in a very literal, take it, as the gullible's travels indeed. And they'll swallow anything. Anything that appeases their ego to make their life easy. I got to tell you, it's the last couple of years for me have been quite something. You know, I can't even put it into words. The amount of trials and tribulations I've had to go through, and the amount of times I've encountered situations where it's always made to look like, I got to tell you, I'm in a place right now where this absolutely proves everything of what I've been through in the absolute opposite mirror. So you see, that's yes, broadcasting from an undisclosed location somewhere on Earth. Safe space, and it's going to stay that way spiritually. You know, I can't begin to outline how quickly people turn because I wasn't the savior. I'm not the crutch that they were hoping for. I wasn't the mitten strings that they were hoping would tie their shoes for them, send in their documents for them, stand there as a wall and a shield in front of them. And you'll hear the complete opposite. You see, that's why everything in my reality is true to me. I walked and lived the experience, then I walked and lived the experience. What is real to me is what is real to me, what I experienced.